Introducing yourself and others can be tricky, but doing it in your second language is even harder. Yet, this is a skill that's essential in both personal and professional settings. In this lesson, we'll cover some ways English learners incorrectly use the word introduce. Plus, you'll learn how to introduce yourself and others. Avoid these common mistakes when using the word introduce. Don't say, myself I introduce. I introduce me to you. Me introduce you to Jenny. I introduce you Jenny. Instead, practice the proper ways to use this important word. We recommend remembering the following phrases or word chunks when using the word introduce. Introduce myself is the first phrase we'll practice. Use this when you wish to introduce yourself to others. Here is the first example. Allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Jenny. Nice to meet you. Now, the other examples. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I stopped by to introduce myself. I haven't taken the time to introduce myself. Let me introduce myself. It'd be rude of me not to introduce myself. Please allow me to introduce myself. Next, we review the proper ways to ask to be introduced to others. When you would like to be introduced to another person, you can always ask for it. The chunk of words to remember is introduce me. Here are several good examples that you can use. Introduce me. You should introduce me to your mother. Would you introduce me to your friends? Perhaps you'd introduce me to this young lady you're with. He wants to introduce me to his friends. I need you to introduce me to your father. When can you introduce me to your family? Why won't you introduce me to your mother? Okay, that works great. What's next? We review how to properly introduce others. How do you use the word introduce when presenting others? Here are some great examples. First, we suggest the most natural way to use the word introduce. This is by using the word introduce by itself. Using the word introduce properly in a sentence. Here are examples. Kathy, may I introduce my son, Spencer? It's my great pleasure to introduce an entertainer we all know and admire. We are pleased to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. I would like to introduce my English teacher, Robert. Next is the phrase introduce you to and introduce to you. Let's see some examples. Maria, let me introduce you to Juan Pablo. Let me introduce you to your new colleagues. I am happy to introduce you to the guy who founded this company. Let me introduce you to my father, Jim. Let me introduce you to my sister, Veronica. I would like to introduce you to our new client. Lastly is the phrase introduce to you. It works this way. Robert, allow me to introduce to you my daughter Eva. Allow me to introduce to you my new wife. Allow me to introduce to you the newest member of our family. And may I introduce to you Miss Cheryl Henderson. I would now like to introduce to you my latest project. I want to introduce to you my newest invention. In summary, we've explored and practiced multiple ways to introduce ourselves and others. So, now you understand how to make a great first impression with your introduction. Next, you could visit our website using the link in the description. There, you can practice your English and use our free AI voice recognition quiz to confirm you can pronounce these words correctly. We hope you've enjoyed this New York English teacher lesson. If you learned something new, please give our video a thumbs up.
Thank you for watching a New York English teacher video. For more online lessons, quizzes, and free practice, visit us at our website, nyenglishteacher.com.